creating headlines is in Miami right now. Tua is expected to play on Sunday versus the Chargers despite battling injuries in both hips and his left thumb. Guys, Tua is hurt right now. His whole lower body is hurting and his left thumb is hurting. Oh, by the way, he's a left-handed quarterback. So let's break it down because there's a lot more to the story than just Tua is playing. Because Tua's injuries have been an issue his whole career. Dolphins offensive coordinator Frank Smith confirmed today, that Tua was limited in Wednesday's practice and those hips and thumbs injuries. But the staff isn't overly concerned. It's kind of weird, right? Smith said today, quote, ultimately, he's working through stuff for the week, and we're not overall concerned for Sunday. Translation, he's hurting, but he's playing. Translation, he's hurting, but we don't give a rat's ass. Translation, our jobs are on the line, so Tua, you better figure yourself out because it's you or us at the end of the day. And honestly, this is who Tua has been his whole career, a competitor who plays through pain. But let's not ignore the obvious. This is the same hip that's given him issues since college. And added a thumb injury on his throwing hand, that's not nothing. The Dolphins are down big right now, and they need him more than ever. Let's keep it real. Tua's health has always been this biggest storyline of his whole career. In 2022, he missed 5 games with multiple concussions. We all remember, right? Last season, he missed 6 games with another concussion and a hip injury. And here we are again, same story, new season. This year was supposed to be different. Miami rewarded him with a massive 4-year, $212.1 million contract, expecting him to be a long-term answer. But through 5 weeks, you can already feel the frustration from the fan base and even from inside the building. Head coach Mike McDaniels admitted earlier this week that owner Stephen Ross is really frustrated. And honestly, who can pay him? You hand your quarterback $200 million and you're starting at 1-4? Arguably the worst team in the NFL? And here's where the narrative gets tricky. Because while Miami's record looked ugly, Tua really isn't the problem. He's tied for 3rd in the NFL with 10 touchdowns passes. And over his last 2 games, he's thrown for 433 yards and 5 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. He's protecting the ball, making right reads, and honestly, showing that when he's healthy, he is one of the most accurate pass rushers in football, making Tyreek Hill not a liar. Even though he is a liar, but he's not a liar, but you guys get the stiff. The problem is the rest of the Dolphins. The offensive line hasn't protected him. The running game has been inconsistent at best. The defense, once their strength, has completely fallen apart. And injuries across the board have turned what is to look like a playoff team into a group searching for answers and a number 1 overall pick. Guys, the Dolphins did make one smart move this offseason, signing Zach Wilson as Tua's backup and drafting Quinn Ewers out of Texas in the 7th round. Wilson hasn't seen any action yet, but with Tua banged up again, Miami fans are holding their breath. This isn't a team built to survive without Tua. The offense is designed around his timing, his rhythm, and his anticipation, all of which makes him special when he's on the field. But if he goes down, the Dolphins' season could spiral out of control even faster. So what's really going on here? The Dolphins aren't just fighting injuries, they're fighting their identity. This team is built to win now, supposedly, right? They extended Tua. They still got Tyreek Hill, even though he's injured. He's not going to sign next year, but whatever. They still got Jalen Waddle. Not too much, right? And a defense that's supposed to be loaded with playmakers, but they're all injured. But at 1-4, with the frustration mounting and your star quarterback nursing multiple injuries, it feels like the season is hanging on by a thread. Frank Smith said they're not anticipating any setbacks, but we've heard that all before. At some point, the Dolphins have to stop hoping Tua will still healthy and start building around and protecting him. Because if he keeps taking hits, that $212 million contract to turn into an expensive regret. Guys, here is my take. This week's game against the LA Chargers is a make or break for Miami. It's simple as that. If Tua guts it out and leads the team to a win, it might rejuvenate their season. If he struggles or worse, aggravates that hip again, the Dolphins' playoff hopes, matter of fact, their season could be dead by Halloween. Tua's got talent. He's shown the leadership, but the Dolphins need to start helping him. This franchise is going to waste another elite quarterback with poor roster balance and bad protection, a.k.a. Dan Marino. But I'll throw it to you guys. Should the Dolphins rest Tua and think long-term, or should they let him play through it and see if he can save their season? Guys, drop your thoughts down below. This is live interactive show. I want to hear your take. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Remember, we're live Monday through Thursday at 9 p.m. East Coast time right here at youtube.com. Mellow Mike says teams pivot off young quarterbacks too early. Sam Darnold, Baker, Geno, and now Mac Jones show. The functional teams screw up decent quarterback talents by not knowing how to build a team. Mellow Mike, coaching, NFL GMs, ownership don't want to invest time into quarterbacks and developing quarterbacks. Because we've seen Jane Daniels come in and destroy the NFL. Let's just be honest. We've seen Brock Purdy come in and destroy the NFL. Who else have we seen? We've seen Lamar Jackson come in and destroy the NFL. Patrick Mahomes do it. Those are all outliers. The truth of the matter is you have to build up quarterbacks. You have to build up. Like, you have to teach them how to be NFL. Just like in high school. You cannot expect a kid to know what you know. You have to teach them that. That's why you're the coach. That's why they're the player. It is what it is. James Frank says, Shaquan Darkberry's on Prime is fire. I have to check that out. Mellow Mike says, Tua being injured? Shocking. No. Consistently, absolutely. Tua is a good quarterback with the body of a 46-year-old quarterback. Which is tough because if Tua could just be on the field healthy, would we be talking about him as a top 10 quarterback? Probably. He has the mindset. He has the knowledge. He has the arm strength. He has everything but health. And it sucks for him. It sucks for him. Will also says, if the Dolphins can turn things around, they're lucky they have a tight end, Darren Waller, and he is a beast. They'll have Darren Waller until they go 1-7, and then he'll decide to start rapping again. That's just what it is. Mellow Mike says, Miami has quit on McDaniels like the Ravens have quit on John Harbaugh. I agree with that. And I definitely concur with that statement. The Ravens have 100 quit on John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh needs to be fired today. Mike McDaniels needs to be fired yesterday. If Miami Dolphins wants to salvage a season, I mean, at this point, can you really salvage a season? They're 1-4, potentially going to go 1-5 after this week when they play the LA Chargers. Like, it's just get him out of town. Get him out of town.